Before heading to the video, if you haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe it and don't forget to click the bell icon for the latest update notification. If you like the video, do like, comment and share. Stay tuned with learnbay.co. Happy learning!
The triggers. Now, what triggers, in a certain way, you can say that they automate the task. To a certain extent, these triggers are used to automate the task. What are triggers? Triggers are also the stored procedures. Point to be noted, triggers are also the stored procedures. Now, how do you execute a stored procedure? How do you execute a stored procedure? Tell me.
There are three ways, like we can write execute and the name of the stored procedure,
Correct.
or exec and then name of the stored procedure, or just the name of the stored procedure.
Wonderful. So we have to at least write the name of the procedure to execute the procedure. Correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
However, trigger are the special kind of procedure which get automatically executed. We do not execute any trigger. They will get automatically executed whenever the event on the underlining table occurs. So let me reiterate the definition. Trigger are the special kind of stored procedure that get automatically executed whenever the event on the underlining table occurs. Now, what is this event? There could be three events: insert, update, or delete. Nothing else. So whenever either insert or update or delete occurs on the underlining table, which means that the trigger will be associated to a particular table. You created a trigger, then you have to associate with that particular table depending on the requirement. So whenever the event, that respective event for which the trigger has been created, that is insert, update or delete, whenever that event will occur, the trigger will automatically get fired. Is this point clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so creation of a trigger is very simple. Create trigger name on the table name to which we want to associate for the event on which we want to fire the trigger, that is insert, update or delete, as begin and then the statement, whatever you want. Now, to understand it, let's take an example over here. So I'm quickly creating few tables. Right, so I have created three tables: product, stock and orders. Product containing the product ID, product description and the price. Stock containing the product ID and the stock and stock quantity, and the orders containing order ID, product ID, customer ID and the quantity ordered. So let me execute this. The tables has been created. Let me insert the record. Let me insert these records. One, two, three, four, five. Right, it has been added. Let me insert the data into stock table. Insert into stock values. Here it is. So this is the stock we have. So let me show both of this. So these are the products and their respective stock. So keyboard we have 100 in stock, mouse we have 200 in stock, Samsung LED we have 50, RAM and laptop also we have 50 in stock. Now let's place an order for say Dell keyboard 10 pieces. So insert into orders values. O0001 is the order ID. Then what is the second one? Product ID, customer ID. Product ID is P0001. Customer ID, let's say C0001. Quantity required is 10. What is the stock of keyboard in hand? How much stock do we have of keyboard in hand currently?
100.
100 is the stock. And we have received the order of 10. What will be the balance?
90.
Okay, let's execute this. One row affected, and I say select a star from select orders. The order got inserted, and let's see what is the balance in stock.
100. Become
100.
It remains same. It remains same. No impact has been done over there. However, if we compare it with a real-time scenario, the stock should be updated then and there. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now just reanalyze the requirement. What do we requirement we have? Can somebody tell me what is the requirement we have in this scenario? What do we want it to do?
When we place an order for a certain quantity, that quantity should be negated from the
From
stock.
absolutely. Now I will put it in a different words. You have said what you have said is absolutely correct. Let me put it into the different word. Whenever there is an insert, whenever there is an insert in the orders table, the quantity in the stock table should be updated. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
So, this can be achieved with the help of trigger. So let's create a trigger. So what do we want? Remember, our requirement is whenever there is an insert in the orders table, the quantity in the stock table should be updated. So I will say create trigger, name it anything. So tr underscore in underscore. Okay, right? You can give it any name, t1, t2, t3. I have given this name. Create trigger name on. On which table the trigger should be created? Any guesses?
So stock.
On stock? No, it should be on
Order.
orders. On orders. On orders. Whenever a insert will happen in orders table, for insert, right? So what trigger are a special kind of stored procedure which get automatically executed whenever the specified event on the underlying table occurs. So what is the specified event? We want whenever the insert happens. So event will be insert on the underlying table. Which table? Orders. So that's what I have said. Ki whenever there is an insert happens in the orders table. So this is what I have written in a SQL manner. Create trigger name on orders for insert. Is this line clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, as. Now a very interesting concept coming up over here. What do we want it to do now? Update. So let's do update. Update stock set stock quantity is equal to stock quantity minus how much? Minus
Order quantity.
order quantity. Absolutely correct. The quantity which is being ordered. Now here is one catch. Now this quantity is coming into the when the trigger will fire. When the trigger will fire, whenever the insert will happen in the orders. Yes. Now try to visualize a record coming into the orders table. It is on the way. It is getting inserted. And at the same point of time, the trigger has fired. Correct? So that means to a certain extent, we can say that the value on which we wanted to operate is on the way. It is not exactly in the table. Simultaneously, both the things happened. The record is coming in and the stock is also getting updated. So we cannot extract this value from the orders table. So we have select, what was the name of the field? Quantity. Select QTY from inserted. Now what is inserted? Inserted is a table. Inserted is a table which is created in case of insert trigger. Whenever an insert trigger is fired, a inserted table is created. It is, you can say, it is a temporary table. It is created just for the period of this insert. When the insert statement is being fired, it will be created. And as soon the insert is over, this table will be destroyed. Okay. So select quantity from inserted. Now, if I take this example, how much quantity is being inserted? 10. So what is the update statement? Update stock set stock quantity is equal to stock quantity minus 10. If I will execute this statement, what will happen?
All the entries will get changed.
All the entries will get changed. So we have to use
Where
where. Very good. We have to use where product ID is equal to what? Select PID from inserted. Here it is. And say end. Now let me execute this. Command completed successfully. The trigger has been created. Now let's try to insert. Let's see the orders and the stock. So we have, again, we have 100 quantity of P0001. Let's place another order for this. Order number, let's take 2. Product ID 1, customer number, let's take 2, and he is buying 10. Now let's observe here carefully. I am getting 2 statement, 1 row affected, 1 row affected. Now let's see the stock and the orders. So you can see that the order has been inserted and the stock has also been updated. It has become 90. Right? Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what we were trying to achieve. Okay. Now, one more point to be noted over here. This time, as you have noticed, 2 times it was appearing 1 record affected, 1 record affected. Yes, it appeared 2 times. You noticed that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It appeared 2 times. Why? Because one was the statement because of the insert statement, and another was a success message of the update statement. Now, this thing can sometimes be misleading for the user. Right? So because the user might think that I have inserted 1 record, why I'm getting a duplicate message, for he might consider it as a duplicate message. So in that scenario, if you remember, let me drop a trigger. I'm dropping this trigger. Drop trigger name. It has been dropped. Do you remember set no count on? Yes or no? Yes, no? Please
No.
revert. Set no count on we did when we were working on the procedures. So if we do not want the number of records to be displayed, how many record has been affected by the command, then we use set no count on. So I have used this, and let's place the order once again. The command completed successfully. And let's see the stock. P002, we have 200 in stock. Let's place an order for this. Order number 3, product number 2, customer number 2, or quantity is 10. You get only one message, 1 row affected. Now let's see stock and the orders. So you can see here it has become 190, and here the order has been added, that is 10. Is this point clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So again, you can see a very good example over here. You are getting a update subqueries. Here is an example of subqueries. We are using a subquery over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. So just read this query which I have written once again, and try to understand if you have any doubts in this query. This should be very much clear. Any doubts in this, or is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Clear, sir.
Clear. Wonderful.
So here we need to validate also like a product should be in stock. Like if
Hmm. Good. We'll come to that as well.
okay.
Wait for some. Good question. Hmm. So I told you that the trigger can be associated with 3 events. What were those events?
Insert, update, delete.
Right. So we have created an insert trigger. Now let's try to create a delete trigger, for which let's focus on the table, the product and the stock. All right. Now see, I have P0005 laptop. Suppose I don't want to continue dealing in the laptops. Okay, I am discontinuing this particular product from my product range, and whatever the stock is there, so I have 50 stock in my hand, so that will be returned to the supplier. So completely removing it from it. So what do I want? That okay, what I want in this, whenever I delete a product from the product table, the corresponding stock should also be deleted. Okay, the corresponding stock should also be deleted. Is the requirement clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you want it to do?
If we delete a record from the table product, then we want to delete the stock of that product.
Correct. Right. So let's create a trigger for it. Create trigger, trigger name. Create trigger, trigger name on which table name? Tell me the table name. On which table you will associate the trigger?
Product.
Very good. Product. On product. For which event?
Stock.
Delete.
Delete. Event.
Drop.
Sir, delete.
Delete.
So the event could only be 3. Triggers are very simple. Very simple. But just the 2 things which you have to remember and which you have to understand: the table on which the trigger needs to associate, and for the event which it needs to insert. And the events are only 3. So it becomes very simple. Insert, update, delete. There cannot be any fourth event. Okay. For delete as begin. Now what do I want it to do? Delete from stock where PID is equal to what? PID is equal to what?
Select
Select
PID from
select PID from. Here we have
Delete.
Deleted.
very good. Nice guess. Select PID from deleted. And if you want, you can also use, not required, but if you want, you can use it. Set no count on. Okay. Deleted and say end. So we have seen, in case of insert trigger, the table which is created as inserted, and in case of delete trigger, the table which will be created is deleted. Okay. So let's execute this. Sorry. And let's try to delete a product. What was the product ID? It's P0005. Delete from product where PID is equal to P0005. One row affected. So you can see it has been removed from both the tables. Correct? Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So this is the delete trigger. Now let's try to do one more thing. P0003. Let's insert one more record. Let's take the stock and the orders. We have 50 quantity of P0003 in stock, Let's place an order for it. Order number 4, product number 3, and let me take the customer number also as 3, and he needs the 20 quantity of this product. Okay, what should be the balance? What should be the balance?
30.
30. Okay, let's check that. Let's see the stock and the orders. Yes, the order has been placed and it is 30 now. Okay, clear? Now the is this point clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, it's clear.
right. Now the customer says, okay, do one thing. Instead of giving me 20, give me 30. Instead of giving me 20, give me 30. What should be the balance now?
20.
20. So let's first of all see, a customer is saying that instead of 20, I need 30. So we will update. Update orders set QTY is equal to 30, where order ID is equal to
P00.
no, order ID
Okay.
0004, right?
Yeah.
So F5, one row affected. Let's see the orders and the stock. So it has become 30 over here, and see over here, it is still 30. It is still 30. It has not got updated. Why? Because our trigger get fired only when
Inserted.
inserted. In case of update, we are not doing this thing. So here it is a requirement of update trigger. Okay.
Okay.
So let's create a update trigger over here. Right now, before we create a trigger, let me tell you the logic, what we will be putting into it. Okay. Now I have supposingly thought initially I had the quantity 50. I ordered 20. I got an order for 20. The balance is 30. Now the order value is 30. What will be the balance? Tell me.
20.
Balance will be 20. Now how do we calculated this? We say that initially, like, the balance is 30. I would say I will make it as old quantity, or I shall say stock was initially the stock was 50. Old quantity was that was customer demanded initially was 20. The balance was 50 minus 20, that is equal to 30, right? Now new quantity which the customer wants now is 30. What will be the balance now? Balance will be
0.
how come?
20.
Minus 30 is equal to 20.
Minus 30 is equal to, but minus 30 from what? So it will
50
be
minus 30.
50, but we do not have 50 now. So how we will be getting it? Balance will be equal to current balance, that is, or I should say it as new balance, is equal to balance plus old quantity minus new quantity, that is, balance was 30 plus old quantity was 20 minus new quantity is 30. That comes out to be 30. That should be our current balance, right?
Actually 20, right?
30
20, sir.
plus 20, 50 minus 30. Yeah, it should be 20, right? Okay. Here it is. So this logic we will be implementing in our trigger. So let's try to implement that. Now create. So what is the requirement? First of all, summarize the requirement. What do we want it to do? Tell me. Tell me,
Whenever
sir.
whenever customer update the existing order, we want to change the quantity accordingly.
In the stock. The
Yeah,
stock should be updated
the stock.
accordingly.
Yes.
So create trigger. I will say create trigger name on. On which table? Tell me.
Stock.
Stock.
Order.
Stock product.
Product.
Order.
Product.
Who said order? On.
Bilash.
Yes, on it should be order. What, where? Please try to understand in which table the action will occur. In order. On orders. For what will happen in the orders?
Update.
Update.
Very good. Update. For update as begin. Now I will try to replicate the same logic which I have given over here. So I'm taking a variable over here. So declare @ OQ as int declare @NQ, that is new quantity, as int. Okay, in case of insert trigger, which table got created? In case of insert trigger, inserted. In case of delete trigger, which table got created?
Deleted.
In case of update trigger, which table will be created?
Updated.
There is no table known as updated. We have only two tables, inserted and deleted. Okay. So there is nothing known as updated table, first of all. Now, just think from the another point of view, what do you mean by update? Whenever you are updating something, what are you doing actually?
Deleting
You
one
are
value and updating and inserting
deleting
one.
and inserting. Very good. You are deleting something and you are deleting the old thing and inserting the new thing. Correct? So update is actually, in other words, it is a blend of insert and delete. So in case of insert trigger, sorry, in case of update trigger, both the table will be created, inserted as well as deleted. So I will say set @ old quantity is equal to select select QTY from deleted and set @ NQ is equal to select QTY from inserted. Right now, update is stock set stock quantity is equal to stock quantity plus old quantity @ old quantity minus @ new quantity where PID is equal to, now PID is there, same PID is there in both inserted and hello, there is some, hello, there is some background noise, please take care of that.
Sorry.
Okay. So update stock set stock quantity is equal to stock quantity plus old quantity plus minus new quantity where PID is equal to You can take it from any of these. I will say select PID from inserted. From inserted and say, and if you want, you can use set no count on. Let's execute it. Stock quantity. Let's execute this. Command completed successfully. Now let's try to insert one more record. Let's take an example of P004. In stock we have 50. In stock we have 50. So let's take, we are placing an order for order number 5. Customer number 3, product number is 4. Customer number is 3. Ordering for 10 quantity of P004. What should be the balance? Huh?
40.
40. Okay, let's do that. So yes, the order inserted and it has become 40. Now the customer said, instead of giving me 10, give me 20. So let's do that. Update order set quantity is equal to 20, where order ID is equal to O0005. Let's see. One row affected. Let's take the set stock and the orders. So you see it has become 20 and this has become 30. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is how it is coming. So this is a update trigger. Let's see the trigger once again. So simply we have taken, just compare it with what we have done over here. We have taken two variables for old quantity and the new quantity. We have taken the old quantity from the deleted, which is going out, and in new quantity from inserted, which is coming in. And simply we have written an update statement. Update stock set stock quantity is equal to stock quantity plus old quantity minus new quantity, where PID is equal to select PID from inserted. Right? So simple enough. I hope it is clear.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Let's see. Now let's try to insert one more record in the orders table. P0003. We have 30 in stock. So let me place an order for P0003. Order number 6. Product number 0003. Customer number, let's take 4. Ordering for 40 of this product. The order has been placed. Let's see the stock and the orders. The order has been placed. And what is the stock? What is the stock we have now?
-10.
-10. That is negative. Now this is something which should not be done. How can we accept order if we do not have a product? If we do not have a stock, we should not accept a order for it, right?
Yeah.
So, which means that we have to, what is the requirement? We have to check the stock. We have to check the stock before placing or before accepting the order. If we have the sufficient quantity, the order will be accepted. If we do not have the sufficient quantity, the order will be rejected. Is the point clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to do that. Let's try
Hi
to do that.
Rajiv,
Yeah.
if we have some condition in S quantity, like in the table definition, if it is greater than 0, will this be updated or something?
Okay, if you are saying that the stock should be greater than 0, yes, the constraint will not let it happen. The constraint will not let it happen. Okay, the record will not be inserted. Okay, let me erase this. So let's try to do this. Okay, one more important point to be noted over here. Now I have to create another trigger for the insert. So we should not create multiple triggers for the same task. As I have already one trigger for the insert, so I will be dropping this trigger. Otherwise, multiple triggers will fire for the same event, which may result in an unexpected, which may give you unexpected results, right? So you should create one trigger for a particular task. Okay, so I'm taking this trigger only. All right. So create trigger name on orders for insert as begin set no count on. Okay. Now I will say declare @qr as int and declare @qs as int, that is quantity required and quantity in stock. Now I will say set quantity required is equal to select qty, select qty from inserted. Set @qs is equal to select sqty from stock where PID is equal to select PID from inserted. Now if quantity in stock is greater than equal to quantity required, then what? Begin. Then begin this and say comment. End. Else roll back and say end. All right. Now let me execute this. Command completed successfully. Now let's try to place an order. Let's see the stock and the orders. So P0004 is 30 in stock. Let's try to place an order for 20. Order number 7, product is 4. Let's take customer as 5 and quantity required is 20. Now see here carefully. I'm getting some message, the transaction ended in trigger. Now select the stock and the orders. So you can see the order has been placed and the stock has been updated. Okay, right? Because we had the sufficient quantity. Let me place another order for this, and the stock is 10, and let's try to place an order for 20. Let's take it as order number as 8, product number 4, customer number, let's take 6, ordering for 20 of this product. The transaction ended in trigger. I got a message, and let's see what happens. Right. O0008, the order has not been placed because we do not have the sufficient quantity, right?
Yes.
Is, but now you might say that, okay, what we were trying to get, we have achieved that, but the statement which we are getting is quite misleading. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
The statement is not very much clear. So we will work on that as well. First of all, let's see. Let me try to explain this trigger. Right. So create trigger name on orders for insert as begin set no count on declare quantity required as int quantity in stock as int. Any confusion still here?
No, sir.
Please respond. Very much clear.
Yeah, clear.
Right. Then we have seen set at the rate quantity required is equal to select quantity from inserted. So from the inserted table, we have picked up the quantity and select at the rate QS, that is quantity in stock, is equal to select quantity from stock, quantity from stock, where PID is equal to select PID from inserted. So for that respective product, we have retrieved the stock quantity. 2 points clear? Yes?
Yeah.
All right. I'm explaining this line by line because some important point needs to be discovered over here. Now, if quantity in stock is greater than equal to quantity required, we are checking that we do have a sufficient quantity, then begin. Now, if you have noticed, I am using begin over here, but initially we have not used begin. Why I am using a begin over here? Because I want to, by using this begin and end, by using this begin and end, what I have done, I have created a block. This one statement is this, and second statement is this, right? And so there are two statements. So for which I have created a block. So depending on this condition, I have to execute this block. If I not create this begin and end, only one statement will be executed. Next will not be a part of this if condition. So if I want to make multiple statements to be a part of its if condition, we have to execute it as a block using a begin and end option. Is this point clear?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, begin and end. Now what I have done, see this statement, update stock set stock quantity is equal to stock quantity minus. Okay, instead of writing this, I can also modify it as select quantity from minus stock quantity minus at the rate quantity required, where product ID is equal to select PID from inserted. Right? I can also use, instead of using the subquery, because I have the value over here, I can use that also. And commit. So I have updated and immediately saved it. So if you remember yesterday when we were talking about the transaction, we say that once the transaction is done, the database properly changes the state upon successfully committed transaction. Now, as soon as this happens, the statement has been, the database status has been updated, the stock has been updated within a same point of time. So see the importance of commit. So this is what I told you yesterday, that further you will be seeing the actual example of commit and rollback, right? So if we have the sufficient quantity, the stock will be updated immediately. Is this point clear?
Yeah.
Right? So can you see the importance of commit over here? Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So this is the actual utilization of commit. Then else rollback. Rollback means what has happened. Actually, what has happened, we have seen that when there was not, we had an insufficient quantity, the record does not get inserted. When we had the insufficient quantity, the record does not got inserted. But actually what has happened, this trigger, when this trigger will fire, when the insert operation occurs, then only the trigger will fire. So that means the record has inserted into the orders table, but because the insertion has been done, but because of the insufficient quantity, that insertion has been rolled back. So the record was there in the table, then it moved out. Undo. Can you understand this point?
Yes.
Right. So proper utilization of rollback. Okay. And now comes to the second point, that is giving some more proper statement. So we can say commit, and I will can say print. Print order accepted. And print. Now else here it is. Let me execute it. Okay, I haven't dropped this trigger. Command completed successfully. Now let's try to place an order. Let's take this P004. Stock is 10. Let's place an order for 5. Order number 9, product is 4. Let's take customer number as 1 and ordering for 5 quantity of this product. Sorry. And let's execute this. It says order accepted. Okay. And let's see the stock and the orders. So P005, it has the balance is 5 and the order has accepted. Now let's try to place another order where we have a stock is 5. Let's try to order for 10 and see what happens. Order number 10, customer number, let's take 2, ordering for 10, insufficient quantity, order rejected. And let's see. So you can see the quantity remains the same and the order has not been accepted. Is this point clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, see one
Yeah,
more.
here one question.
Hmm, hmm.
Like a rollback happened on transactions. So what is the transaction here?
Rollback happens on the so transaction is there, na? Insert, update, or delete. Transaction could be either insert, update, or delete. So we have inserted this. We have done an update over here. There was an insertion, there was an updation. So this rollback is happening for the insertion. The record which has been inserted, it has been rolled back. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And I was showing one more thing. Okay. So till here it is clear. Now let's see. So this particular customer placed an order P0004 placed an order for C0002. He needs 10 quantity. His order got rejected because we do not have a sufficient quantity. The balance was 5. Okay. So he said, it's okay, give me 5 only. So let's take a order for 5. Order accepted. Let's see the stock and the orders. So the stock becomes 0 and the order has been accepted. Okay. Now, sometimes the customers are very clever. So now when the order for 5 has been accepted, now he said, instead of giving me 5, give me 10. We said, okay. So we fired an update statement. Set quantity is equal to 10, where order ID is equal to 00010, and see what happens. The record got affected. Let's see the stock and the orders. You see, it has become -5 and the customer has order number 10. He has got the 10. Why? Why this thing has happened? Can anybody tell me?
Because when the update, we have set the trigger on update also, and that trigger has no conditions that we have condition on the stock.
Absolutely correct. So while accepting a new order, in other words, we can say that while accepting a new order, we are checking for the quantity. While accepting a new order, we are checking for the quantity. However, while making the changes to the existing order, we are not checking the quantity. So it has to be done over here. The same step which we have done, that is, we have checked the quantity, and depending on the stock, we have accepted or rejected the order. The same thing will be done in case of order also. So I'm not giving you an example of that. So you will be doing it yourself. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So here it is. So this was the trigger. So we have talked about the insert trigger, we have talked about the delete trigger, we have talked about the update trigger, and we have also talked about this to update the check and update the stock depending on the availability of the stock. Okay. Any doubts over here? Yes, no, maybe.
No, not for me.
Okay, nice. All right. So all right. So with this, we come to the end of the module. And before we end this module, now few things which I would like to tell you. Uh, how many of you have actually worked on that inventory management system? Anybody worked on that inventory management system? You created the tables, orders, products, customers, supplier. Yes, no, none
Yeah,
of you.
I've created sir the table.
You created the tables. You have done all the that constraints and all. You implemented the constraints on it.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Inserted the data.
Yeah, inside the data.
Very good. Have you created the procedures on it?
No, sir, because that was the yesterday's assignment.
That
So,
was
yeah,
the yesterday's. Okay, no problem. So
before
now,
yesterday, I've completed the assignments, not the yesterday.
okay, very good. If you have done that much, now see what all, because as I told you in the starting of this module, that if you will be following the instructions, if you will be going hand in hand, by the end of the module, 90% of your project will be ready. So this is the project which I was referring to, the inventory management system. And so accept the triggers. So in your the status should be that you have already created all the tables, putting the constraint, inserting the data. Now the automation should be there. So whenever the sales is made, the stock should be updated, right? In addition to that, using the procedures, you can create various reports now. Reports like daily report. At the end of the day, now think from the user point of view. You are the developer and consider me as a user. You are creating a inventory management system for me. Now I want to see a daily report at the end of the day. What all transaction has been done during the day. So I just write the daily report, and for all the transaction done within the current day will be displayed in front of me. So that is done with the help of procedure. Second example, you may be getting a supplier report which will give you the details of all the products supplied by a particular supplier. Second report. Third report is the customer ledger, you can call it. I will give the customer ID, and depending on it, all the transaction done by that particular customer should be displayed since inception. Since inception, all the transaction done by that customer should be displayed. At which particular date, what particular product he has purchased, what was the order number, and what was the description of the product, what was the price, what was the quantity, what was the amount. Now I am highlighting these things separately because here you need to create a join, and that, and finally you will be creating a procedure, but within that procedure a join will be required, because you will be requiring the product from the details from the customer, you will be requiring the details from the product, you will be requiring the details from the orders. So from these three tables you will be creating a join, putting it into a procedure, right? So this is a customer ledger you will be creating. You may be creating a report called sales report for the specified period, where the customer will, where the user, I should say, the user will specify the two dates, that the beginning date and the ending date, and all the transaction done between those two dates should be displayed. Is this point clear?
Yes, just one question on this.
Please, please.
Actually, for the reports that you have said, do we need to do the procedures, or the views would be also an option?
Views is definitely an option, but think from a user point of view. If I am a user, I'm not aware about SQL. Now you ask me, I want to see a daily report. You created a view with the daily. You will ask me, okay, whenever you want to get a daily report, you just write select star from daily report, and I will be getting a list. Or you ask me to say just write daily report, you will be getting the detail of daily transactions. What will be more easier?
Yeah, yeah. From that point of view, procedure is right.
So that's why I'm telling you the procedure.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, because procedure gives us the flexibility. Just write one name and the task will be done.
Correct, correct. Yeah.
So these sort of reporting, now you can see more real time. Take a real time scenario, enhance your project as much as you can. Even there is one more phase of this project which you can do. So yeah, I'm just giving you an idea. If even if you don't do this and you do till the reports which I tell you, that is also fine. But consider the scenario when you purchase, when a new purchase has been done. So that prospectus could also be there, but I'm not adding it because it might be complicated for you. If you would have completed till here, then I could have told you about purchase and all, but don't get into it. Create till here, it will be of a great help.
Yeah, yeah,
Please
sure.
do that.
Yeah,
Your confidence level will go up. you will be more confident if you are facing any interviews, and you can also tell in the interview that yes, you have created an inventory management system, a basic inventory management system which you have created. You can say in your interview, right? So all which we have done in this module will be covered over there. Okay.